Welcome back to RealVacantLand.com. This is Luke Smith, and I've got a property for you. This one is in Mendocino County, California. It's a little neighborhood called Brook Trails Vacation Village, and it's a place where people build. I mean, originally it was meant to build like your second home, your vacation home, but a lot of people have moved in and stayed. And it's just up the road from a little town called Willits. It's just over the hill from a good port called Fort Bragg. This is Northern California. It's north of San Francisco. This lot has power lines to the property. It's got paved road. You can drive right up to it, see it. It's got a bunch of big trees on it. It's got a water line, so you don't have to worry about water. And it's got a sewer line to get rid of the water after you're done using it. So it's ready to go. It's ready to build. The community is looking for 1,000 square foot minimum to go build a house on it. And they say, I mean, talking to planning zoning people, it sounds like you could get through there in about 2 weeks of sign this paperwork, get that paperwork. If you're ready, if you got plans, you know what you want to build. They'll tag you into the utilities. You crack ground, start building. So it sounds like you could get going on it really quick if you had the if you have in mind what you want to build and you've got proper plans to do it. You could pull this one off pretty fast. So let's take a look at the property. I just lowered the price. I just added a new map. I was just polishing up the ad. It's been on the website for a bit. Nobody bought it, so I figured I'll lower the price, make it easier. I'm asking $200 a month for 50 months, and that's you should be able to do that math. It's like $10,000, but no interest or anything. $200 a month for 50 months. Just make the payments, direct your cash towards working on the property. It's a half an acre. It's a good sized lot in this neighborhood. Most of the lots in the neighborhood that I've seen are right around a quarter acre. So this is one of the bigger lots. I mean, there's a couple bigger ones here and there, but generally speaking, this is one of the bigger lots in the neighborhood. And they reserved a lot of land in this neighborhood for nature to be able to pull off the neighborhood, put all these roads in and infrastructure in and stuff. They had to save a lot of it for nature. So they put a lot of land off to the side. So you live in this area that's surrounded by trails and nature. You can go explore where nobody's going to build a house. So here's the new map I got installed into this listing. I just got it in there like a minute before I started the video. I haven't even played with it, so let's see if it works. It's got the lot lines for the property. There's a street, and there's a house next door. There's a house on either side, so they've figured out how to do it. You can see the power line there. I don't know how well you can see it, but let's take the little street guy over there, drag him out in front of the lot, and we should be able to see it. So here's the neighbors building on the hill. Here's our lot. Here's a power line right in front. There's a bunch of trees on the lot. Lots and lots of trees. And then more houses over there. I think if we go down this way, there's more houses. Yeah, so lots of houses in the area. And lots of trees. So you could probably bust a driveway in there and get up into the property. Just trees, trees, and trees. Let's see what this neighbor's doing. How's this neighbor getting into the property? They didn't put the driveway in the front. Maybe there's a back way in there. See if we can drive around and take a look. Well, these houses are totally shaded by trees. They still have the satellite dish out. So there's a side street here. We'll see if the street view guy goes up that way. There's someone waving at the camera with their dog. Probably a friendly neighbor, right? These are some other houses. I'm not sure how they got to that property with no driveway. Maybe we'll zoom out and take a look. Well, that wasn't the right zoom out. How do we get out of... back button. There we go. So, yeah. How did they get to that property? Let's take a look at that again. Start right in the front. Oh, there's a driveway back here. So maybe that's what people are doing to get to that one. So the neighbor, this neighbor here, there's two houses there, right? So he's got his house there, and then there's that house. Nice big decks, so you can look out at the trees. I love that. I grew up in northern Michigan. Everybody had big decks. Um, maybe it's this is a driveway to that house or a garage to that house. Maybe this is their garage and it goes around. Not fully understanding this. Let's try it again. Maybe they come around this way, huh? So let's see if we can go that way. When you get there in person, it's going to be easier to figure it out. Yeah, so it looks like it's not a through street. Maybe the Google guy didn't go up there. Maybe they did. So the lot would be over here on our right. Kind of, no, that way. That way from where I'm sitting. Looking at the screen and camera, everything's backwards, right? So it looks like, yeah, it looks like you might be able to get to the lot by driving around the backside. See how far this one goes in there. It goes further than it's on the map. It doesn't show this part on the map, but the Google guy drove there, so it's obviously there. Yeah, I think we're getting to the back side of those other houses. It might be the back side of this property, just up here a little ways. There's a unique house. A gable roof design. As far as it's letting me go, I think we're right beyond this house in the woods over there. So I think we just drove up this way, and I think we were looking at a house there, but you might be able to access it from the back. Like here's the end of the street. Maybe there's a house up here, and that's behind that house maybe. Maybe you can't access it from the back, but there was a house in here. I don't know. You have to go there and look at it. So there's houses all the way around. They've really used up this area, which makes it a lot more obvious and easy to do an infill lot. You could look at the values of these houses around here, figure out what they trade for, figure out the economics of buying this lot and building your own place and selling it into that market, or versus buying up one of the neighbors. So $200 a month, no down payment, just $200 a month. You can run with it. So there's taxes on this one, $254 a year. It looks like what they're charging. The elevation's about 1,800 foot. Got GPS coordinates on here. We can click on that, get directions to all kinds of places. If you click on it on your phone, it'll give you directions to go see the lot. If you click on it in your computer, you can play with it to get directions to other things. I'll reiterate: power at the street, water at the street, sewer at the street. And so it's got the utilities. And there's a little town called Willits. It's not very far away from this one. It says 11 minutes. So what Google's saying is doing some cockamamie boomerang route to get there. 4.4 miles to town. Schools, grocery stores, basic supplies, all the stuff you need to go for it. I wonder if there's like lumber. Lumber store, a redwood company. There you go. If they got a lumber yard or what. Oh yeah, look at that. That might even be a sawmill. You can buy wood there. I don't know if it's retail wood or what. Looks like they're processing wood, so I'm sure it's not a problem to buy wood in the area. Build your home out of wood. I wanted to do. Let's see how far it is to San Francisco. San Francisco, California. It's not a commute. I mean, it's a ways. 2 hours and 44 minutes. So that kind of drive. I mean, you could go up there after work on Friday, come back Sunday evening, and you'd spend the weekends up there. So it's a shot out of San Francisco. It's not. I don't think you're gonna want to commute that. Maybe like random meetings every now and then in San Francisco would be okay. Head down for the day, come back at night. Like it'd make a long day of it, but it's you could, if you really wanted to, get out of the pricing of the San Francisco Bay Area and get into a place with a lot less people and a lot more freedom to do what you want in the woods, enjoying the trees and the fresh air and the lack of traffic and things. So small town feeling kind of place. So you could get out of the Bay Area and do that up here if you wanted, especially if you got tech job and you're telecommuting and things. Maybe the once a month meeting, you drive down and take that on. I wanted to do Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg's just, through the state forest. There's a highway here you can go cut through and go to Fort Bragg. So I wanted to pull up Fort Bragg. And this is what I'd be looking at, because I like fishing, and there's lots of streams and river fishing, fly fishing and stuff in the area too, but this would be the salmon fishing. This would be getting out, catching lingcod, rockfish, salmon, and maybe halibut. Probably get into halibut up here pretty good too. So this is let's call it 40 miles through the mountains, maybe an hour. It's 12 o'clock in the middle of the day right now, and there's little bits of traffic on the way for whatever reason. This is Route 20, and I think I saw some pictures of people driving this, but let's see what happens if we get some street view, or some random street view along the way. This looks like a fun highway. It's just 2-lane highway. It looks like a good pavement. Look at these trees, just big, beautiful trees. You probably get stuck behind a car and you can only go so fast, but this looks like a nice, beautiful shot going through the mountains. There you go. There's some campers and stuff. People following the Google car. Let's maybe try another shot. Here's some switchback zigzaggy stuff. Let's try in there. And it's just, look at that tree. I don't even have to look. Look at the size of that tree. Just these massive trees in the mountains. It's just going up the grade. Big, beautiful trees all over the place. Rocks and trees. Looks like great country to go explore and have fun in. So you got a bunch of these mountains and trees and national forest, or state forest, or whatever it is, government property that you can go use. State forest, a bunch of state forests in here to go have fun in between here and Fort Bragg. So now if we go over to Fort Bragg, this is like an hour, and then you can go play on the beach. You can go spearfishing. You can go take the boat out. You can eat at the little restaurants they have here. A bunch of seafood, and there's a harbor and beaches, and I'm not sure what the population of Fort Bragg is, but they've got all these rocks and bays in between that just look beautiful. People take pictures of these things. It makes me want to just go there. So I pulled up Fort Bragg on Instagram to show you what I'm talking about, and they're showing rocky beach, grassy beaches, people in dressing up kind of clothes, people picking through the tide pools, the waves coming in, a pier. This looks like the forest we were just looking at that's in between the property and the beach. It's just big trees, beautiful forest. Kids playing at the beach, sunset, starfish and mussels in the tide pools, some trash. Someone took a picture of that. Just beach pictures, people cleaning up, kayaking around the harbor and stuff, taking the cat for a walk, taking the kid to the beach to get some family photos. Here's a classic picture. This is probably Highway 20 again. It's the same route that you would take from the property over to the beach through this beautiful woods on a little windy mountain road. Some dogs, more big trees, just lots of trees, and people taking pictures of the trees, because that's the countryside. You get these beautiful areas. Like I like spearfishing, right? So for me, this looks like a great place to go launch in and go find all kinds of fish to eat for dinner. Look at these things. It's like some little bays. Be good to get in and out of the water. You could sit on a rock and put your fins on. And I don't know if it's deep enough, but you kind of sneak out through there, get out through the waves, and go dive all over the place. Probably find abalone, all kinds of like China rockfish and a bunch of different rockfish, lingcod. Looks like somebody broke some glass on that beach. Glass beach. Used to be where people dump stuff, I guess. just a beautiful area with its own character that's not like anything else that I'm used to. It's a place that would be fun to explore, and if you built a house there, you'd have all kinds of time to go explore this stuff. I mean, at first you'd be busy building, but every now and then you take a break and go see what the coast is like, see what the hills are like, see what the mountains are like. Just explore that area. So that's what happens if you go west. And then if you go east, there's all kinds of other mountains. I don't even know where to start. It's just mountains, hills, lakes, streams, just nature. Lots and lots of nature to go explore. So that's the beauty of this area, and that's why I'm interested in buying these properties in the first place. I've sold a couple of them, and everyone's been really happy with them. And I got a couple more in the same neighborhood to choose from. So if you like this area, I mean, feel free to pull up my map. There's a map search on the page. At the top of the page, I'll flip back here. So the top of the page is a map search. It takes a while if I click on it to bring it up, so I'm not going to do it. But you can look at the area in Northern California. You can see the properties that I have for sale there and see if any of them perk your interest. You can go to this neighborhood and visit like a half dozen of these properties and pick out your favorite one. So if you might roll up to one of them and be like, the view's no good, or the trees are no good, or the neighbors are weird, or whatever, pick one of the other ones and just go cherry pick them and take off with it. This one's half an acre. I think it's one of the biggest ones I got. It's got all the utilities. Some of the ones I have all the utilities less the sewer. This one's got the sewer, and it's sitting there waiting for you. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Luke Smith of RuralVacantLand.com, bringing you another property. It's an easy, cheap land. $200 a month, and you can run with it. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.